Alright, welcome to the next video in the server display series. This will be based around CloudTown. I want to give some more information on the server, so this nice little fly around will play for a minute while I explain. The actual people who play number about 9, all of which are close friends, and the idea was so that we'd have a connected world, and whenever we wanted to build something, we could just build it, and then eventually we could connect it to a road and have it connected to someone else's build, and so on and so on. And also so that we would interact even if we were far apart. The server is split into 3 locations currently: the survival area, the creative area, and survival area 2. I'm only showcasing the creative section because it is the most impressive, but I might do the survival stuff someday. Really depends. Not everybody has stuff in the creative area either, so I will try to mention who has built what. And with this, we have the first stop. First thing I built in CloudTown, which is this little roundabout with a CloudTown sign, because I wanted no cars in the town. Then behind it is actually the biggest world map in the server. I've just been slowly expanding it so it has a lot more northern pieces than the other maps. Then, moving on to the actual town, we have a couple of residential houses. I wanted to make these with a light and dark kind of contrast, and I thought I was only going to use wood, so that was the original theming. Both of these houses are pretty empty though, because I am lazy and suck at decorating. Next up is the bakery. This was built because I quickly changed my mind on the all wood route. So I used bricks, and I did decorate it very simply, but a few days later Dizzle came in and spruced the whole place up, and it looks much better. And also, again, for any text, just pause, I'll look at it for a second. After the bakery, we have the Coliseum, like mausoleum kind of vibe building, which was the first huge building I built in CloudTown. And it was all before we figured out like the fill commands, so you could just place huge walls. I used quartz because obviously it's very close to marble. To the right you can see the Hall of Heroes room, which I'll show in a second. But first, back and to the left is the workshop area, which I imagine most people would work in. Then onto the hall area, you can see I've made some statues. I originally wanted to make this all a working area, but I felt statues fit the vibe much better. Back out across the main hall, you get to the judge area, which I imagine people attend for legal problems in CloudTown. Once we leave here, we can go left, and kind of behind the Coliseum building is this weird blue building, which is actually the library. I built this to go back to the wooden theme, but I also wanted to add lore about CloudTown because I thought it was fun. There are only a couple books which I will slowly flip through, but I did plan to add more eventually. I will be quiet so y'all can read and listen to whatever music I put behind this. We leave the library, and we actually have to backtrack a little bit to show the right side of the Coliseum. The first building, or hut, we come to is Dizzle's Hog Station. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have too much on this one. He just asked me if they were vegans and if he could add a vague boob shape. Anyway, if you follow the marble paths to the right and take the longer one, you get to my house, which was built after Dizzle said you had to build a house in your main city, and CloudTown is my main city. Honestly, I didn't really do a whole lot with it, as you can see. It has some basic decorations, but that's it. However, upstairs, I do have this sick tree house, and up in top is actually the chest that holds copies of the CloudTown Tour. Back out in the first marble path is Amelia's house. She's not big on building, but she did want to add something to my town. It's better decorated than 80% of the buildings in CloudTown, which she did just to show me up. But also has this doggy door, which I really like. Next up, back across the Coliseum, is this little tent area, which I intended to be way bigger, but I didn't like how they ended up looking kinda ugly, so I ended up moving on to this marketplace street, which I think looks pretty solid. There's not really a whole lot to say about these, besides some of the names are cool references and a couple are decorated well. I'll just let you enjoy the video showing off the buildings. Alright, and with that, we follow the road down past the market street. We have two options, left and right, but we will take the latter first through the residential area. There's this little tent which I think I wanted to be a bar, but I ran out of ideas, so it's in this state. Across from the tent is the first and only house designed by Dizzle. It's very well decorated because he is with the shits. Out of there and continuing down the right road, we pass the copper coop, which we will come back to later. These next three houses were built and decorated by me. They're kind of basic, so I'll just let you watch the footage and also show off the couple secrets they have. These final two houses are basically the exact same, but they are decorated by Darren, so you'll see some significantly better decorating in these houses. Behind all these houses is this little pond with some barely beaten paths. Now it is time for the Copper Coop, which is a hotel I built to house all the travelers of CloudTown once the road was built. This place is pretty basic, so back to silence and feel free to skip to the top. Alright, back out into the market street. If we go left, we get to the old market, which was meant to sell more goods like consumables. This first little shop is a food store, which I built and decorated, but pretty simple. It does have this food storage, which I think is nice. The second one is just a basic weapon shop, which I also did. Not much to say about it besides it fills space. The final store is a potion store, which was built by Darren, and it is absolutely dripping in swag, and he has all these cool command effects around it. This is the final building, with the second last stop being Wizard Hill. I wanted to build a connection to the ground, or like a wizard tower on top, but I never liked how the hill looked, so I just left it as it was. And as you have probably seen the whole video, there is a huge window in the center of the town. I had to add this because Dizzle's house was underneath and he wanted to see it on the map. So we got the best of both worlds. I got more land and he can still see his house. And with that, the CloudTown Tour is concluded, and I hope this one is higher quality and offers a better understanding of the layout. Thanks for watching, and tune in for the next one.